It's crazy to hear this crazy talk that police officers are allowed to be assaulted and we're invading Chicago. Give me a break.
Eshwani, your thoughts?
Well, in terms of the word invasion, Trump himself uses that word when talking about democratic cities. The other thing I'll say is if Republicans were serious about reducing crime, they would invest in schools, jobs, housing, and healthcare, not send the National Guard into democratic cities or soldiers onto American streets. The safest communities are not the ones with the most troops or the most prisons. They're the ones with the most opportunity. And the irony is that President Trump's own FBI and own DOJ show that most political violence in this country comes from the far right, not the left, including Trump himself, who threatens to jail judges and seize local law enforcement. That's not law and order. It's authoritarianism wrapped in fear. And I think that is what keeps getting missed in these conversations.
Eshwani, I suppose the part that bothers me about Pritzker's press conference is the way that he is demonizing ICE. We have seen and know that assaults on ICE agents have increased over 1,000%. He called them thuggery agents. These are just patriotic men and women doing their job enforcing federal law. You know, if you're a mayor, if you're a governor, if you don't like federal law, you shouldn't be in those positions. Perhaps you should be running for Congress to change those laws. But those laws need to be enforced. And what Brandon Johnson is doing in the city of Chicago in particular, having ICE-free zones where he's banning ICE agents from city property, I mean, that goes against the supremacy clause in the Constitution. Why is Pritzker and Brandon Johnson fighting and demonizing the patriotic men and women who have decided to join ICE and Customs Border Patrol to simply enforce American law?
Because their actions are unconstitutional. President Trump himself, from his own words, said he is launching an attack on democratic cities and leftist terrorists. Look, you cannot police away poverty, trauma, or lack of opportunity. Real safety, if we're talking about solutions, means ending the criminalization of poverty and addiction, sending people to rehab instead of prison, shutting down prison contracts, and shifting police budgets so that mental health professionals handle the crises. These are not radical ideas. They are proven strategies, but Republicans block them at every turn and instead do these kinds of optics that infringe on the constitutional rights of Americans who just happen to be Democrats or live in Democratic-run cities.